Hello and welcome to Winter Disco Tabletop Gaming. In this video we are unboxing the Army Painter's wet palette, which I'm very excited about. I decided that I'm going to do some more painting, so let's just buy a whole bunch of stuff. So if you don't know what a wet palette is, it is essentially a palette that has some kind of spongy or foam insert and then a paper on top, and it keeps the paint nice and wet. You can mix really nice on it. Add some water to it and it can just sort of spread out everywhere. I really like it. I do love little other palettes, like little dish palettes and bits of other paper and tiles and things, but I'm excited to use a wet palette. So this is Army Painter's wet palette. It has some specific pieces in here. So let's have a look at the back. So if we can actually bring that into focus, you can actually see what this is. So you get the palette itself, then what's called the hydrofoams and the hydro sheets. And we'll get into that, exactly what all that is about, and there's a few other bits and pieces that aren't really that important. So let's crack this open. So there is a lot of stuff in here. So you get some hobby stuff, an assembly and safety tool guide, which is really cool. It actually comes in with like a whole bunch of information. I'm not going to go much into this because it pretty much comes with any big Army Painter product that you buy, so we'll get rid of that one. We also have the Army Painter painting guide. If you see the Army Painter things in store, so these stands, you can actually see it's right there, right in the middle there. You can actually grab this guide and it comes with like tons of information, like basically free painting guide. It's actually a very, very good resource. So if you haven't painted before and you don't really know what to get, go to a local game store. Most of them will have Army Painter stuff, and pick this guide up. There we go, we've got some things on spraying there, then painting and working on like the actual palette that you use, not the physical palette but the color palette. What else we got in here? Different charts for the different colors and highlights, and different washes and things. So there is a lot of stuff in here, and it keeps going on. And you got all the tufts as well that you can buy to put on your bases. So that's some really good content right there, and that's free. So definitely go pick one of those up. But this is what we're here for. We are here for the palette. So we'll come back to this bit in a second. These are all the extra bits. But the palette itself, so it comes with, you can actually get this off, a little wrap that you can put around to hold it together. Then you have the lid, nice fancy lid. The brush, well, not the brushes, but like a little tray there that you can put brushes in. So let me just grab some brushes. I also got some new brushes too, so I'm pretty excited to use them. So you can put a whole bunch of brushes in there. So they don't come with brushes, but you can put some brushes there, some other bits and pieces down in there too, so that's pretty cool. Then you have the tray itself. So I'd say it's probably, let's say it's 1.5 centimeters deep. So this is where the base of the tray, this is what you'd be using for the most of the time, pretty much. Now, what you have here, two sections, which if I can get out, oh, it's a tough one. Oh, there's actually some more stuff. Ooh, fancy. So there's a little thank you, and you can get some bits to get some extra bits, but nothing's broken in here. The full paint range, which is really cool, and then how to actually use it. So yes, it is focused for the Army Painter paints, but actually goes into a bit of detail, which is nice to have. So what you would do in this case, you can actually open this. I'm not going to do a demo of how to use it. I might overlay some video as I'm chatting, but basically you have, these are the hydro pads. Is that what they call them? The hydro pads? I'm not sure. It grips in there really nicely, and this is sort of like a foam, a water absorbent foam. So what you would do now, you would put some water in there, not too much. There's some videos online like how to actually, like how much water you put in there and what you do. Then you take one of these sheets, which is essentially like baking paper at the end of the day, and you can actually make a wet palette for very cheap with baking paper. Yeah, it's a really nice like baking wax paper. So you put some water in there, you put this down, and it will kind of curl up a bit, but then you like flatten it all out, and that's it. It'll keep your paints nice and wet. It won't let them dry out, so you can just curl up anyway, which is kind of interesting. And you can mix on the palette, mix your colors, add some water or some like paint medium, anything like that, and away you go. That's it. it's actually a very, very useful tool. It definitely helps with your painting, I find. I have used a makeshift wet palette previously and have very much enjoyed using it. It's very nice to use and just makes painting a little bit easier. Okay, I've already folded that, but that's fine. We can leave it there. When I say easier, it just allows you to mix colors more easily. And really, that's one of the main things of why I've got this wet palette. But anyway, so that's just a really quick video. I'm not going to go back more into too much detail because that's it. It's a spongy thing with some water and then some paper over the top of it. But that's it. So, what else you can do with this? It actually packs up really nicely. You obviously can't see what goes on there, but this lid doesn't touch the paint. And then you put the lid on, and the brushes are in there, and there we go. We got it on there. I don't know, like, if you turn it over, if it will like fall down. I haven't really tested any of that, but that's it. That's pretty much what you need to know. And then you have, so basically I should say you get 2 of these hydro pads, and then 50 of these little purposely cut sheets. That's it. Not much more to say. Your price for this will vary. In Australia, they're obviously not very cheap because Australian prices are ridiculous. I think it was about 50 Australian, probably less than that. I think I got it from a very expensive place, but it was just like a purchase on a whim with some brushes and some other paints and a few other bits and pieces. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap this video up. Tell me if you are a painter, if you like using wet palettes or going straight out of one of these things. I actually really like these. They're really good for mixing colors if you need to do like a lot of colors. But, you know, that's cool. I usually just dump some paint in there and water it down and mix it up. But I think for mixing colors and doing things that are a bit more intricate, take a bit longer, want to do a bit more detail, and really step up your game, I find a wet palette is actually really nice. So that's it. I'm going to cut this video off here. It's only gone for about 6 minutes, but that's fine. So if you have enjoyed this video, definitely leave a comment and a like. And if you do like these kind of unboxings and things like that, leave a subscription because there's definitely more unboxings coming up. I love doing unboxings, so I've got some more planned for the next few days. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and I will catch you later.